Hey guys, welcome back to Just Carve Rob. Okay, we're still working on this Christmas tree, guys. Okay, decided that this is not a yew tree. It's a Douglas fir because he's gonna have a mustache. Okay, so anyway, all I did is take a pencil, draw my. I was gonna just go with age lines, and I got to looking at him like, hey, that'd be a pretty cool mustache. So, as always on Just Carve Rob, we've changed up the game a little bit. So we're gonna cut a mustache in this tree. Like that. Just plunge straight in. Follow the outside of your line, guys. Just like that. Follow the outside of your line. And then we're just gonna slip our knife and pop out that chip. That's it. That's how it's done. Just like that. And then we will go to our bigger knife. Now remember, I am using a very thin piece of wood, so my features are not going to be that deep. So all my features will have severe angles to them to give them that shadow. We're always looking for the shadow, guys. Always looking for the shadows. If you're using a thicker piece of wood, go deeper. I kind of like the idea of the mustache because it's going to look like it's part of the boughs. Boughs, not bowels, boughs. I think that's what they call them things that hang off the trees, the needles. The way they swoop like that, they call them a bough. I don't know. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly. La 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 la. You know what we could even do here? We could put a Santa hat on this tree too, because he's already got that shape going. I mean, there's a lot of ideas pop into my mind when I'm carving. When you're carving, it kind of opens your mind up to other possibilities. Because this was, remember, these were just going to be age lines and a mouth. But I figured when I seen I cut those age lines, I'm like, hey, he could be a Douglas fir. Yeah, get it, mustache fir. And then when you do the split on them, it can make it look like they're the boughs of the tree, tree boughs. Where you hang your jingle bells, jingle bells. Hang your jingle bells from your Christmas tree. Is that silver bells? Silver bells, silver bells. Yeah, I think it's silver bells. Okay. So I'll work that back up in there. Then your second tree, you could carve a girlfriend maybe. Maybe baby trees. You could have a whole tree family going here, guys. You could have a whole tree family. Okay. Which way is this camera? Okay. Since I'm carving over here today, I guess the camera can go back more. I hate when I do that. I review a video and it's like half the video was shot out of like down here, Everybody's like, I can't see what you're carving. It's a surprise carving, guys. Surprise carving. Okay. Just like that. I'm just bringing my mustache on an angle. We're just angling the mustache back, feathering it in. Till where it gets up here. Just like we did here, we feathered this down till we hit our center line or a line that we wanted. So I'm doing the same with the mustache. I'm rounding it over on both sides back into the wood. I guess you would call it the age line part. even though it is now no longer its age line. It's a mustache. Okay, I think that's good enough for a tree. Then we can come in here and give them a lip. We're just going to take our pencil and draw in and make it a smiling lip like that. Okay, to make the mouth, all we do is plunge in with our knife both ways, and then where our lip's going to be, just bring it in, bring it across like that, and then that chip should pop right on out of there. Pop. If it gives you any problems, just go back in and give it another cut. Now when you're doing the bottom of the lip, angle your knife away from the lip. You do not want to do a straight cut there because you could end up popping that lip right off. And then we'll come back underneath. We're going to make like a V cut, guys. Little V cut there. Make that lip stick out. Always know where the end of your knife is, guys. It's one thing about whittling or carving with a knife is you kind of got to project where the end of your knife's going to be in your mind. Because if you get up underneath that lip too far, you'll pop it right off. I'll go back, clean that up. Get the fuzz out of there. And we're going to go back and we're just going to take it and we're going to go on a little bit of an angle and we're going to round that lip over. And be careful, make sure your knife is sharp because otherwise you'll tear it. And then again, you can take a chunk right out of the lip, and it's hard enough not to take a chunk out of that lip carving it. So you always got to make sure your knife is nice and sharp. And remember, dull knives is what hurts you. A sharp knife doesn't take very much pressure at all to cut through wood. But a dull knife, that'll hurt you because you're putting a lot of pressure on your knife to get it through the wood. And then the next thing you know, it's stuck in your hand because you're pushing it way too hard. See that? We got his little lip cut in, guys. Okay. Try to keep your cuts cleaned up as you go along. That way there won't be such a big hassle when you're done. I'm going to run through this with my diamond bit, with my Dremel to clean mine up. But those that are carving that don't have a Dremel and they're using a knife, go back and cut as many of them fuzzies off as you can. If you paint it, make painting it a whole lot easier. Or burn it, whatever you're going to do with it. I know last year I did a couple of them where I burned them and a couple of them where I painted them, and I don't have any left, so I must have done something right. See, got rid of all the fuzzies. Okay. Now, plus if you cut them age lines in, it makes your nose pop out more too. Just to throw that in there. Okay, I guess we will give him some eyeballs now. We're just going to do a real simple eye deal. We're going to come off the sides of the nose at about 45 degrees, I'm thinking, somewhere in there. It's up to you, depends on how you like your eyes. So something like that, guys. You see that? I can see it. Yeah, if I can see it, you can see it. Okay? Then put your center line right through the middle of your eyes. There again, remember, they don't have to be perfect. It's a Christmas tree. Okay? So, I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to go plunge in and go down to the nose. Plunge in, go down to the nose. Just like that. Plunge in, go down to the nose. Okay? Only going in probably a 1/16 of an inch, maybe. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make that arc. You don't have to do this in one cut, guys. I'm using my thumb to push my blade. Make sure you keep your fingers out of the way. Okay, I guess a pull cut's going to be better for this. You don't have to make this cut in one foul swoop. I found out when I do it, stop and turn my knife a little bit and go, it keeps it from chipping out a lot better. It's a goofy little Christmas tree, guys. Then we'll make that center line in there. Down to the nose. And then we're going to come back and just clip. We're going to make a little V. You know that three-way cut I've been preaching about? Push down with the center. Come alongside your eye and push. And then right here. Boop. We'll do that again over here. You're just taking a little triangle right out of the top of the eye. Try to make them as even as you can. And then you can do the same thing down here in that corner. You can just slice a little triangle off of it. That kind of gives your eyes more of that round effect. Okay. Then we're going to come back and we're going to just take off the top. On an angle, you want to round that eye over, guys. Just a little bit off the top on the angle. Like that. And then we'll do the same thing down the side. On about a 45 or more angle. This one's a little bit hard because the green's running the wrong way. Like that. Same thing over here on this side. Like that. And then we're going to give them some eyelids. Straight cut, straight in, guys. Nice light pressure. Okay, then we're going to come back. Same thing. We're going to round over that eyeball a little bit. All that's doing is making his eyebrows stand out. Or his eyelids stand out. I have to go back in there and get rid of my pencil line up the middle. Remember what I said about keeping your fuzzies cleaned up. Keep them fuzzies pleased. Over there, it won't be such a big pain in the back when you go back to do your painting. And what I use a lot of times, I don't see one around here, I'll use a bamboo skewer to go in there and get rid of a lot of the fuzzies. I get works for me. Okay, we're going to go back and we're going to take that edge off of the eye, or off of the nose, I'm sorry. That's another 15 minutes, guys. Time's flying. Remember, just carve. Share, subscribe, like if you want to. And we'll be right back with another episode of The Tree. Okay?